So I'm Reuven Goldberg. I live in the mountain village of Tzfat in the north of Israel. I'm going to read straight through without a lot of introductory or explanatory remarks. I will say that the first two poems I'm going to read will appear in the next arc, number 26. The Reunion, a conversation upon which I wasn't permitted to eavesdrop. I wish I were a fly on the wall, the limestone wall in front of the Bernsteins, or a lizard hiding in the cracks, or a cat crouching on top of the composter. Then my husband and his old friend won't notice me witnessing their reunion and won't curtail their spoken recollections, censor their words out of respect for my feminine sensibilities. I want to hear the raw, unfiltered male brutality, their blunt assessments, their crude dismissals. I want to hear their cynical put-downs, idle boasts, reconstructed memories. I'm a part of their histories. I want to hear what is usually unsaid. The moon disdains unwelcome advances. NASA to fire exploding rocket into the moon to see if there's any water or ice below the surface. You have no idea how much ice there is for such as you, and how many deep pits in which you might smother or drown. Do I look defenseless to you? I am your mirror. I glance around at my celestial companions, stars and other moons. I ask them and I ask myself, who are these humanoid insects hurling their phallic spears at my hollow depths? Do they imagine I cannot feel their flammable darts strike my sacred zones, where meteors ripped my skin and gouged out my crust in eons past? They open old wounds at their peril. This sphere remembers every shameful look, every insult, every sneer, every scathing glance. Nothing escapes my notice. Their propulsive explosions always leave a scar, though presently hidden from their earthly eyes, their sublunary skies, but will never force me to yield up evidence of my subterranean springs. These are in a pile somewhere. They're submissions. The school bell sounds. The school bell's rapid clanging sends shivers through my thighs and tingles through my testicles. The smell of the chalkboard fills my nostrils like the white dust flying free of the gray felt erasers I slammed together in the schoolyard with my chum, red-haired Alan Charney, known for his gnawed nails and ragged cuticles, who licked the rock salt from his reddened fingers in the winter cold and broke a well-known rule by entering the girls' bathroom on a lark, who liked the outdoors and any excuse to get away from the earnest murmur and confined space we visited daily, the halls and rooms of PS 193. The gates we entered and left through, the chain-link fence we often climbed, the space to which we now return in memory, the place we wouldn't recognize today. This is called Living Off the Land Around the Bay. Fennel growing in the vacant lots, and chamomile growing in the sidewalk cracks. White wine in a clear plastic cup left out on the brick wall that protects a garden in Pacific Heights after a party. Ripe blackberries plucked from thorny brambles. Baked potatoes and pizza crusts exhumed from the trash on Telegraph Avenue. Discarded vegetables selected from the overflowing co-op refuse bin. The store's free samples offered with a smile. A piece of bread the baker gives when asked. The tender cherry plums on Essex Street. Lamb's tongue and mustard greens from the fields. Miner's lettuce near the shady Park Creek. Windfall apples from the Crossroads orchard. Wrinkled pears clustered along a fence on a country road in a time of drought. All these and more to be savored and enjoyed. Manna born of earth, rain, and seed. Human labor and nature's fecundity. More than enough to feed this tramp. And I suspect my 5 minutes are up, so I'm going to read one more, or it will be up after this. Red bead. And they set in the breastplate 4 rows of stones. The first row, carnelian, emerald, topaz. In Jerusalem, 7 millennia ago, long before the city had acquired its name, there was a precious bead made of a gemstone, carnelian, shaped by a craftsman, carved, drilled, and polished for a woman's necklace to to adorn her bosom and throat, to decorate her mortal body, a treasured object, one that has long lain beside her bones. Today, chipped and scarred, but still intact and deep red to its core, balanced between the thumb and forefinger of an archaeologist, it's conveyed by a high-resolution photograph, taken by the woman who led the dig, flashed through a fiber optic cable to me, and soon to rest on a museum shelf, displayed in a secure vitrine. For how many millennia more?